Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Victoria-Monique and I am here to bring you back into your full magic, if that is what you're looking for. If you are just here to explore more about how the game of life actually works, based on the teachings of Neville, Abraham Hicks, Seth, the Council, and my interpretation of these teachings, then you came to the right place. If you'd like to work with me, if you'd like me to assist you in whatever it is that you desire to create in your life experience, then check out the description for the options of working with me. Today, I want to speak about inspired action. And I'm going to read you something from Neville. What I'm going to read you from Neville, I have no idea why. I just know that this is what I am supposed to read to you today. And this is actually, it ties in with how I believe inspired action works. So Neville says to us that you shouldn't lift a finger to make it so. Bashar says that action is the way to go, that you have to act. Then we have Abraham Hicks, who says, Esther is one person, Abraham, I think is are multiple beings, which isn't really important. Abraham Hicks says that you should do it when you cannot not do it. So I don't know if Oprah, without an H, Oprah channeled by Ramona Gailey, if she has this from Abraham Hicks or if this is what they always said. Actually, it doesn't even matter who said it first. This is the message. So Abraham Hicks and Oprah say, you should do it at the moment that wild horses cannot stop you from doing it. So actually, it's not even you should do it because you cannot not do it. And I have an example for you from my own life. Yeah, I'm going to give you one because I thought of another one, but I'm going to give you this one. So I had a wish to create some extra money. Not a big amount, just a small amount, because I wanted to have something. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could create exactly that amount? So I thought, how can I do this? How is not my job, right? But still, I thought, how can I do this? Then I had this thought of ceremonial cacao that I could sell because I had a lot of it. And then I thought, okay, I could put an ad up there and there, which is like an eBay for the Dutch market. And I did so. I put it up there and I left it. The next day I go to the gym and I'm in the dressing room and I'm there at a different time that I'm usually there. And that is usually also kind of, you can already feel that, me personally, when I'm inspired to go somewhere at a different time that I usually go, then connecting the dots backwards, I should have, could have, would have known that this would come to pass and that something magical out of the ordinary was about to happen, because magic is actually happening all the time. Life is just one magical orchestration of things. And sometimes things are extra magical. So this day, decided to go to the gym earlier. I'm in the dressing room and there's a lady who is getting dressed and she was already dressed, she's doing her makeup. She has on like panther print trousers. And there is this really beautiful makeup bag lying on one of the benches that is hers. And I look at the makeup bag, and this is the inspiration I had. The inspiration was, tell her what a beautiful, beautiful makeup bag it is. And then instantly this happened in my head. No, Victoria, you don't have to go compliment everyone on everything. Just leave it. So then, without me knowing I was going to say it, my mouth just opened itself and said, I love your makeup bag, to this woman. And so it was a really interesting situation because this was all within seconds, right? It goes so fast, but that's how fast we think and act and don't even know we're gonna act. And I thought, nice one, to myself, because something else was speaking me. It wasn't my ego. And ego is not a bad thing. I'm all for ego. But it doesn't always see the right way. So ego was saying, you don't have to meh, 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 meh. But inner being was saying, compliment. And inner being eventually won. Like it's not a game, but it is a game. But anyway, okay, I'm making a bit of a mess of this video, but who cares? Because it's all about fun anyway. So I said that to her. We got into a conversation, and turns out she's someone that calls herself a shaman, and she uses cacao for ceremonies. And I said to her, because she said to me, I do ceremonies and I use medicine. And I said, what do you consider medicine? Because I consider cacao also medicine. And she said, yeah, I do. And I said, actually, I have a lot of cacao still. I have to sell some. Not expecting to sell it to her, mind you. It was just something that came out of my mouth. To which she said, this morning I was thinking I need to get some extra cacao. And here you are. And so what ended up happening is that I sold her multiple times a couple of kilos of ceremonial cacao. You can't make that stuff up, can you? So, moral of this story is, while Neville says, don't lift a finger to make it so, I believe he meant, because we are in a 3D world, right? I believe he meant, don't push yourself to make it so. But if you cannot not, like Abraham Hicks and Oprah say, if wild horses cannot stop you from doing it, then you will actually be moved to do it. So it's not something that you consciously do, you do it. Because you cannot not do it. So I think you understand what I mean. And if you don't, well, then you don't. Then you will figure it out at one point when the time is right. One more example with regards to this is, so Neville, you remember the story of Barbados, how he was in Barbados, Abdullah said, and obviously the bridge of events still had to unfold for him to be in Barbados in 3D, because he imagined himself in Barbados night after night, and then the 3D caught up later through his brother, I think his brother Victor, which is interesting because this is a formula for victory that I'm going to read to you. His brother Victor sent him money and a ticket, or he only sent him money so he could buy a ticket. Neville still had to take the action of actually getting on board and getting the ticket and but he didn't lift a finger to make everything happen for him so that he had the money. He did lift a finger later, right? So the later was when everything was already kind of, everything is said and done. Now this is the last bit for you to walk over the bridge of events to get your ass to Barbados. Okay, I trust this makes sense. I have a feeling I was babbling a little. But you'll distill this amazing message from it. I know you will because you're awesome. Okay, so the last thing for this video is from chapter 27, Your Faith is Your Fortune, a formula for victory. And I opened the book on this chapter because my intention was to give you the perfect Neville story. And it opened here, so that's why I know that it's the perfect one. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you. The majority of people are familiar with the story of Joshua capturing the city of Jericho. What they do not know is that this story is the perfect formula for victory, under any circumstances and against all odds. It is recorded that Joshua was armed only with the knowledge that every place that the sole of his foot should tread upon would be given to him, that he desired to capture or tread upon the city of Jericho, but found the walls separating him from the city impassable. It seemed physically impossible for Joshua to get beyond these massive walls and stand upon the city of Jericho. Yet, he was driven by the knowledge of the promise that regardless of the barriers and obstacles separating him from his desires, if he could but stand upon the city, it would be given to him. The book of Joshua further records that instead of fighting this giant problem of the wall, Joshua employed the services of the harlot Rahab, and sent her as a spy into the city. As Rahab entered her house, which stood in the midst of the city, Joshua, who was securely barred by the impassable walls of Jericho, blew on his trumpet 7 times. At the 7th blast, the walls crumbled and Joshua entered the city victoriously. To the uninitiated, this story is senseless. To the one who sees it as a psychological drama, rather than as a historical record, it is most revealing. If we would follow the example of Joshua, our victory would be similarly simple. Joshua symbolizes to you, the reader, your present state. The city of Jericho symbolizes your desire or defined objective. The walls of Jericho symbolize the obstacles between you and the realization of your objectives. The foot symbolizes the understanding. Placing the sole of the foot upon a definite place indicates fixing a definite psychological state. Rahab the spy is your ability to travel secretly or psychologically to any place in space. Your wonderful human imagination. Consciousness knows no frontier. No one can stop you from dwelling psychologically at any point or in any state in time or place. Space. Regardless of the physical barriers separating you from your objective, you can, without effort or help of anyone, annihilate time, space, and barriers. Thus, you can dwell psychologically in the desired state. So, although you may not be able to tread physically upon a state or city, you can always tread psychologically upon any desired state. By treading psychologically, I mean that you can now, this moment, close your eyes and after visualizing or imagining a place or state, other than your present one, actually feel that you are now in such a place or state. You can feel this condition to be so real that upon opening your eyes, you are amazed to find that you're not physically there. A harlot, as you know, gives to all men that which they ask of her. Rahab, the harlot, symbolizes your infinite capacity to psychologically assume any desirable state without questioning whether or not you are physically or morally fit to do so. You can today capture the modern city of Jericho or your defined objective if you will psychologically reenact the story of Joshua. But to capture the city and realize your desires, you must carefully follow the formula of victory as laid down in this book of Joshua. This is the application of this victorious formula as a modern, it looks like it says modem. Okay, one more time this sentence. This is the application of this victorious formula as a modern mystic reveals it today. First, define your objective, not the manner of obtaining it, so not the how, but your objective, pure and simple. Know exactly what it is you desire so that you have a clear mental picture of it. Secondly, take your attention away from the obstacles which separate you from your objective and place your thoughts on the objective itself. So deny the 5 senses and be in imagination. Thirdly, close your eyes and feel that you are already in the city or state that you would capture. Remain within the psychological state until you get a conscious reaction of complete satisfaction in this victory. Then, by simply opening your eyes, return to your former conscious state. So I would say you don't have to return, like when he says return to your former conscious state, it's more like you're awake. So it's not like, now I go back to being that I don't want to be. No, just open your eyes and go about your day. And it's like when you have sex and you have an orgasm, you reach the point of completion, of satisfaction. Usually that's the case. I don't know, but that's the case for me. So this is the same. You imagine until you internally orgasm, feel this victory, feel this, this feels so amazing. And then leave it go about your day until you feel you need, want, desire that fix again to feel it. And you keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that. And at one point you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm satisfied. I'm pregnant. And now I'm going on to the next desire and orgasm my way into the next pregnancy. So this is not made for children, but YouTube knows. Actually, children know way more than we know, than we think they do. Anyway, this secret journey into the desired state with its subsequent psychological reaction of complete satisfaction is all that is necessary to bring about total victory. This victorious physical state will embody itself despite all opposition. It has the plan and power of self-expression. From this point forward, follow the example of Joshua, who, after psychologically dwelling in the desired state until he received a complete conscious reaction of victory, until he internally orgasmed, did nothing more to bring about this victory than to blow 7 times on his trumpet. He just blew 7 times on his trumpet. So everything is kind of like a metaphor, right? So I wonder if he then, 7 times. He blew 7 times on his trumpet, which I find a very funny image. The 7th blast symbolizes the 7th day, a time of stillness or rest. the interval between the subjective and objective states, a period of pregnancy or joyful expectancy. This stillness is not the stillness of the body, but rather the stillness of the mind, a perfect passivity, which is not indolence, but a living stillness born of trust in this immutable law of consciousness. Those not familiar with this law or formula for victory in attempting to still their minds succeed only in acquiring a quiet tension, which is nothing more than compressed anxiety. Tell them like it is, Neville. But you, who know this law, will find that after capturing the psychological state which would be yours if you were already victoriously and actually entrenched in that city, will move forward towards the physical realization of your desires. You will do this without doubt or fear in a state of mind fixed in the knowledge of a prearranged victory. You will not be afraid of the enemy because the outcome has been determined by the psychological state that preceded the physical offensive, and all the forces of heaven and earth cannot stop the victorious fulfillment of that state. So leave the world alone, right? Don't react. Don't take your five senses as the reality. Take the feeling within you, the feeling of orgasm, victory. You dudes with English. Victory, pregnancy, that is the truth. Not what 3D tells you. Yeah, you got this. Stand still in the psychological state defined as your objective until you know the thrill of victory. Then, with confidence born of the knowledge of this law, watch the physical realization of your objective. Set yourself, stand still, and watch the salvation of the law with you. Isn't it wonderful? So that's it. So that's it today, folks. I know that you thoroughly enjoyed it because you're still here. And yeah, amazing. Isn't it amazing? All this power that we have at our fingertips, in ourselves, in our wonderful human imagination. So leave the world alone. Do not lift a finger until you cannot not do it, until you find yourself doing something and you're like, what just happened here? And trust that it was the perfect thing, because what you do automatically always is the perfect thing. Even if it's not, if it seems not the perfect thing, I can tell you it is. Because you do not know how the bridge of events will unfold. You do not know. The only thing you do is trust. Desire, imagine, fulfill the desire within yourself and trust. And then if you don't feel it, just go back and keep doing it. Keep having sex. Keep orgasming until you fall pregnant. I know you can. Yeah, this was it. I will see you in the next. Wishing you a beautiful day. I'm going to work out because I love that. Peace.